Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with Sean and we have a quick tip for you today about squatting. One of the common questions that we get is, should I be doing squatting? Or I've heard squats are bad for my knees. And one of the major things is really just a technique issue. A lot of times people just aren't doing the exercise correctly. So we want to share a few quick tips with you that when you are going to the gym that we want to keep an eye out for when you're doing your squats. So the first thing that we want to take a look at is what your knees are actually doing from an in and out perspective when we're doing the squat. So I'm going to have Sean start with first with a bad squat, and then we'll show you what kind of we're looking for, okay? So when you're setting up with your feet about shoulder width apart, your feet don't have to be entirely straight. Everybody has a little bit different hip mobility. Not everybody needs to squat with their toes straight. That sometimes in and of itself can take pressure off the knees. If I can't rotate a certain way at my hip and I need to open up my hips a little bit to take some of that pressure off, that rotation is going to go to your knee, which is something that we don't want. So first we'll start shoulder width apart, toes turned out slightly. So what Sean's going to do is he's going to go ahead and squat down, and he's going to let his knees collapse in. So what we see a lot of people doing is letting their knees come in at the bottom of a squat and not being able to keep them out. So again, Sean's going to do a couple bad ones. So you can see his knees are kind of collapsing in, and that's going to put a lot of pressure forward into that knee. So what we want instead is for Sean to go down and push the knees out wide. Go ahead. So now the weight's distributed on the outside part of his feet and his heels rather than forward to the front of his feet and on the inside part of his feet. So one drill that you can do just to practice that is to put a band around your knees. So Sean's going to go ahead and put a band around his knees. And what the band's going to do is going to help exaggerate that mistake of the knees collapsing in. And it's going to give your body a little bit more of that input to know that it needs to push out. So if you're struggling with that, this is something that you can do in a warm-up or as an exercise as itself, depending on where your strength levels are. So now the band is pushing his knees in, and it gives him something to push back out against. So as he goes down, he's pushing his knees out against that band to help reinforce that proper position. The band isn't there necessarily to get stronger or anything like that. It's just to teach you that movement. The last thing that we want to look at, guys, is Sean's heel position during the squat. A lot of times we see when people are first starting out, when they go ahead and go down into the squat, they're letting their heels lift up. So go ahead and do one, Sean. As they go down, they let their heels come up off the ground, and we can actually get our hand up over there. That might be an issue of their ankle mobility, but a lot of times it's just a matter of coaching and letting them know that that's not what we want. So go ahead and come back up. What we want to see is that Sean's heels stay flat, and he's kind of able to wiggle his toes, and he's on the outside part of his feet. So go ahead and go down. So now Sean's got his weight distributed on the outside part of his foot, his heel, and that's shifting most of the weight away from being in the front part of his knee and into his hamstrings and his glutes as he comes up, okay? So give those two tips a shot. Remember, not letting the knees collapse in and trying to keep the weight on the outside part of your foot and your heels, and we hope that helps you out the next time that you do your squats.